We're going to continue talking about subtracting in other bases. Today we're going to look at two other methods of subtracting. We did the takeaway method on the previous video. Today we're going to look at first the comparison method, and then the last one will be the missing addend method. The comparison method means that I am going to compare the top number to the bottom number. Because I'm going to compare them, I have to have both of them. So in this method, I am going to build the top number, 413 base 7. I'm going to build the bottom number, 146 base 7. Right? And then I'm going to compare, or take away, get rid of the same amount from each place. So let's start off. We're going to start off getting rid of everything we can get rid of. So, in the units, both sets have 3 units. So that means I can get rid of 3 units from each set. Okay. In my longs, both sets have 1 unit, which means I can get rid of 1 unit from each long. And in my flats, they each have 1 unit, so I can get rid of 1. Okay. Now, that would be really nice if that could just be the answer. But unfortunately, we have some of it on the top and some of it on the bottom. So the ultimate goal is to have everything left on the top, which means I've got to get rid of these 3 and these 3 somehow. Right? So first step when you're doing the comparison, lay out both numbers. Second step, take away common elements in each column. Right? Now we're ready for the third step. If I need to take away these 3, what am I going to do? Same thing we did before. I'm going to have to get some up here, which means I'm going to have to move one of these over here and break it up. Okay. Now, I have 7 up here on the top. I have 3 on the bottom. I can erase common elements, so I can have 3 from down here and 3 from up here. Right? So now I'm doing better. I've got my flats are on the top, my longs are on the top, I'm only left with some units on the bottom. We'll use our same principle, move 1 over, break it up, subtract the common elements. 3 on each. Okay. And therefore, there we have the answer, which matches up to the answer that we got when we did it with the takeaway method. I have 2 flats, 3 longs, and 4 units in base 7. Let's do one more problem using the comparison method. Again, just to make sure, so you can see that this works in any base. Let's work with base 4 today. Let's do 213 minus 132. Base 4. Okay. While I'm setting this up, think about the question. If this is base 4, how many is going to be in a strip? How many strips are going to be in a flat? All right. So let me get out 2 flats, 1 long, and 2 units. And you can see in base 4 there are 4 units in a flat. There are 4 in a long. There are 4 longs in a flat. Hopefully you came up with the right answer to that while you were thinking about it. Okay. Remember, in comparison, we have to build both of the numbers. So we're going to get out the bottom number, 132. First step in the comparison method, build both numbers. Second step in the comparison method, get rid of common elements. I can get rid of 1 from each spot here. I can get rid of 1 from each spot here. I can get rid of 2 from each spot here. Okay. Do I have my answer? No. To have the answer, everything must be at the top. Therefore, I'm going to have to do some trading. I'm going to take this one, move it over, break it up, erase the common elements. 1, 2 down here, 1, 2 up here. Is everything at the top? Yes. Do I have my answer? Yes. My answer to 213 base 4 minus 132 base 4 is 20 base 4. Okay. Don't forget, you don't have to write the 0 here, but as soon as you start with a number, you have to put zeros for any columns that come after it, because the answer is not 2 base 4, it's 2 longs and 0 units. So the answer is 20 base 4. Okay. Let's look at the last method for subtraction, which is the missing addend. Let's go back to our initial problem in base 7. So we need, let's see, in this case, we are going to build the bottom number. Tell you why in a minute. If you're watching, build your bottom number. Let's copy those. All right. With the missing addend, what we're going to do is start with the bottom number and figure out how many we have to add to get the top number. All right? So, let's start over with our units. I have 6 units, and I want to have 3. Now, you may be thinking, I don't have to add any, I've already got too many. You're right. But what I'm going to have to do is add enough so that I can trade in some and have 3 left. Right? Now, I'm in base 7. How many am I going to trade in? I'm going to trade in 7. If I want to have 3 left after I trade in 7, how many am I going to have to start with? Right, 10. So, I am going to have to add 4 more. Now, I'm going to write a 4 here, because those 4, which are my answer, are going to disappear when I do my trades. So I have to remember that I added 4. Now let's take and combine these. Okay. When I do, I get 1 long and 3 units. And the 3 units is what I wanted. So let's move that up. We now have our top number correct in the units place. We'll move this one over here. Okay. So now I have 5. I want to have 1. Okay. So if I have 5, I'm going to trade in 7, and I want to have 1 left. Altogether, I have to have how many? To trade in 7 and have 1 left, I have to have 8 up here. That means I need to add how many more units? Well, I've got 5. If I want to get 8, I'm going to have to add 3 more. There it goes. 1, 2, 3 more. Okay. I'm going to write my 3 here, so that I can remember how many it was that I got. Then I'm going to trade in. And I ended up with one long and 1 unit. The 1 unit was what I wanted. I move this over here. Now I've got the easy part. I have 2 flats. I need 4. How many more do I need to get? That should be pretty easy. I need 2 more. I'm going to write my 2 here. And my answer, doing it this way, comes out to the same as it did, doing it either of the other 2 ways. I'm not going to do another one of these. This is the most difficult. Study this section of it a couple times if you need to. If you know how to do the other 2, that's the most important. Again, this is a 3rd method which some children will use, and you want to be aware of it and as comfortable doing it as possible.